Great rise and beautiful beings. Great rise and beautiful beings. So, I don't know. I think we should talk about it. I think I know why women thrive with bacterial vaginosis. First of all, women don't understand that they accumulate bacteria. This is hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I am not a gynecologist. I just know from my experience, it was easier to get BV, bacterial vaginosis, when you were sexually active. And then what I realized was that a woman holds her own bacteria. So the anus area, all that will thrive with bacteria just like your tongue. You don't brush your teeth, you don't clean your tongue, you don't eat fruits and vegetables to keep that palate clear and free of bacteria. If you don't wipe that stomach lining out, your stomach muscle out with like apples and celery and carrots, you will thrive with bacteria. Okay? So same goes with everyday life. You will thrive with bacteria. The way you wipe, the way you clean yourself, the way you wash. I know some women say they don't use soap. Well, you better have some heavy hot water. That's all I can say. Because if you're around here eating hamburgers and pizzas and stuff, that poop sticks to you versus eating a bunch of salads, fruits, fibrous food. That poop just comes straight out. So if you got a poop that sticks to the toilet, if you got a poop that sticks to the tissue, you're going to have bacteria festering way faster. Okay? Then you got the people who eat a lot of yeast. And yeast thrives off sugar. Okay? Sugary foods. Foods that turn to sugar like white rice, starch, pasta, pizza, macaroni and cheese. Okay? Kool-Aids and stuff. Drinks, sodas. It just keeps thriving. So you have to, it's so many things you have to release. And the final one is an unkept man. An unkept man that doesn't shower at least twice a day. He doesn't have to shower his full body. He got to shower his full body at least once a day. And he got to get in that shower and rinse his whole body off and hit them hot spots with soap and water, thoroughly clean, at least twice. Especially if he's going to be sexually active. The reason why I say this, because their bacteria, your body will fight it and possibly cause bacterial vaginosis. And if you're around here having sex like you got to sneak, you can potentially get bacterial vaginosis. Whenever you poop, you need to be able to wash up with soap and water. Period. And you need, if you take a shower before work, you need to take a shower when you get home. Because 9 out of 10, you pooped. You peed all day. You sweated. It's a cycle. But then let's talk about Dooky dick. Yes, Dooky dick. If you are entertaining Download me. He probably can't get all that Dooky residue off him. And if he actively sleeping with you, you're going to be wondering why you can't get rid of bacteria vaginals. See, a lot of people think they gotta have sex. That's the worst thing in the world. You think you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta let the body self heal, self clean. Sometimes you have to fast and abstain from dookie dick. It should actually slow you down more to the fact that everybody is bisexual. It should actually slow you down and make you rethink about life because of the bisexuality on the planet. So, Dookie Dick will give you problems. It could be you into anal sex, and that could give you problems because you can't go back and forth. You cannot go back and forth. It's measures to that. You're supposed to clean. You're going to create problems. You're going to create festering. And just imagine if you are dealing with a bisexual man and he's not thoroughly removing bacteria. And if he loves anal sex, that's a fester. It takes if that's what he do, that's a fester. So the balls and everything has to be thoroughly washed, clean, scrubbed, the skin around the head, all that. And that's why they call it BV, bacterial vaginosis, because there's a foreign bacteria that does not belong near the vaginal canal or the uterus or the cervix or the entry. And the body is, I'm assuming the body is using like white blood cells and stuff. Remember, I'm not to actually fight this bacteria that's foreign to the vaginal canal. Your nails, your cleanliness. You have to purge, you have to cleanse, you have to abstain from sex until you get it under control. Because just going back and forth from she got this type of bacteria, then he cheat on you and he go to this woman, she got this type of bacteria. Then he decide he want to do dookie dick. And then it's like this full circle going on. Sometimes you have to abstain from it. And I know two women who was trying to use those those rods that keep you from getting pregnant, those copper rods that sit in your cervix. They were getting bacterial vaginosis because they like men to come in them. The body wasn't able to release all the toxins from the uterus. But when they got them pulled out, they didn't have BV no more. Man, it's so much going on. Let your body flow. Let your body flow naturally. And let your body flow naturally. And don't eat things that help bacteria thrive. And that's meat and starch. Okay. You can eat it every now and then. But you could tell though. You could tell like when you eat fish, steak, pizza, or something like that, your hormones change. Versus when you eat a lot of salads and fruit, it seems like everything is at ease. There's no delay. And there's purification versus stagnation. So I'm going to leave it there. If you would like a full reading, by all means, check out the links in the description. The next few videos will explain that I'm no longer doing a raffle. There's no way that I could, well, there probably is, but I'm not about to refinance the home to donate it to a nonprofit. And then even if I create a nonprofit, I still can't do it while the house is under a mortgage. So we on plan B. Maybe one day you'll catch up and you will see. But it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So no more raffles. Nobody sent me no money. Thank goodness for that. That's just how the energy works. You know, I can always do a silent auction, silent raffle, or whatever, but I just don't have the network to do it. And I'm not about to be around here kissing ass trying to figure out how to network to do it. So we are on to plan B. Something I should have been started like 10 years ago. Okay. I should have started this phase 10 years ago. But I had to mature. Yes, I had to mature because I reacted faster than listened back then. Knowledgeable, wise, full of teacher-student spirit. Yes, full of teacher-student spirit. But at that time, I was just experimenting life. Now, I think I've experimented life enough to actually start to do more, to give back in a sense. So, yeah, whole nother phase, whole nother ball game. And that's that third base. You know, one of my middle names is Portia. So Portia is like portion, okay? Like a side of you that not only expects to receive, but to actually give back. That level of Portia, you know. And then it's also maybe an upgrade, you know, Porsche within cars, but also a portion of yourself you give back, you help. But we're not going to be on this basic stuff. We're going to actually make it so that people can move up in life and you don't just thrive off of people's lack. Okay? Well, there we have it. There are tarot readings, there are herbs, there are products in the link in the description. I'm going to get off here and be mindful of that bacteria, the dookie dig, and just straight up lazy. Don't want to thoroughly wash up twice a day. You got to thoroughly wash up twice a day. I'm going to hit you to something else. Like, let's say if I took a shower that morning and then I go out maybe brunch or lunch, but I decide, okay, I take a nap and I decide I want to go hit the streets about 10 o'clock that night. I'm about to take a whole new full shower. I'm about to scrub a dub. Because I want the cleanest sweat. If I'm going to sweat, if I'm a pee, I don't want no scent or aroma behind me when I use the restroom. There's no reason any woman should have a scent when you go behind her in the restroom. That's all I can say. So if she has a scent, she don't know how to clean her bacteria. And what I mean by that is, that's if she's out in a scene. If she's out in a scene where people are mingling, where people are in each other's space. And just because you're at home, that don't mean you're supposed to let it fester. You're supposed to train yourself from home. Okay? You're supposed to train yourself from home. So if you sitting around letting yourself fester at home, imagine the streets. Okay? So the goal is to use hot soapy water as much as you can. You ain't gotta hit the whole body as much trying to dry out your skin. But that yoni, that ass crack, she ain't gonna dry out. She's nothing but oil. That's why the scent will linger. That's why the scent can go in your couch. That's why the scent can go in your car. That's why the scent can go on your blanket that you should be. If you're not bathing twice a day, you gotta wash that blanket at least every 2 weeks to a month. I wouldn't even buy a blanket that I can't wash. Okay? Sheets, all that. Pillows, pillowcases, all that. Do you know the oil that comes from your brain behind your ear? If you go 2 days and you smell that oil from your belly button or behind your ear, that's some funky cheese ass oil. Your brain is rendering that stuff. So what you think your intestines and your yoni doing? Those are a purification spot where it eliminates waste. So you have to keep it scrub-a-dub-dub-dub. That's all I can say. So there we have it. Unearth the magic. The truth will definitely set you free. Mwah.